Tuesday, August 30th, 1977. Peggy Hodgins, a single mother of four, went into her children's bedroom to tell them to stop making so much noise and to go to sleep. The children told her that the bed keeps shaking, and it's hard for them to go to sleep. The mother told them that it was their imagination, and everyone went to bed. The next night, Peggy heard loud knocks, footsteps, and shuffling going across the floor. When she investigated the sounds, a dresser was on the other side of the room. She pushed it back where it came from, but then it moved again by itself. Peggy then attempted to move it back one more time, but she couldn't. That scared her so much that she gathered her kids and went to a neighbor's house. Those same neighbors then investigated the house along with police officers. What they encountered in that house scared them so much that they ran out of the house and notified local news channels. This is the true story behind the movie, The Conjuring 2.
This is my home. Get out now.
No, this is not your house. Now, what's your name?
Knock, knock.
Very well. Who's there?
Bill.
Bill who?
My name is Bill Wilkins, and I'm 72 years old.
The voice on this tape is coming from an 11-year-old girl.
According to Peggy Hodgins, the haunting of her home at 284 Green Street in Enfield, North London, began in August 1977. Peggy, who lived there with her four children, Margaret, who was 12, Janet, 11, Johnny, 10, and Billy, 7, who claimed that she knew something was up after there was a crash upstairs. When Peggy went to investigate, she found Margaret and Janet cowering in the corner of the bedroom. "We told our mom the chest of drawers was moving toward the bedroom door," Janet said. She said, "Oh, don't be silly." But the chest then slid across the room. "I just couldn't believe it," Peggy said. "In fact, I pushed it back twice, and the third time, I couldn't move it." As a strange knocking noise seemed to spread through the house, Peggy went to get help. She first reached out to a neighbor, and then the police. When police officer Carolyn Heaps arrived on the scene, she said that she witnessed a chair moving on its own. She said it came off the floor maybe half an inch. "And I saw it slide off to the right about 3.5 or 4 feet before it came to rest." And with that, the Enfield haunting had just begun. As time went on, the strange events at 284 Green Street seemed to escalate. Graham Morris, a Daily Mirror photographer who visited the house at the family's request, described chaos, saying, "Things started flying around. People were screaming. And then Morris himself got hit by a flying Lego." Eerily, the Enfield poltergeist seemed particularly focused on 11-year-old Janet. "I was used and abused," Janet recalled. "Some unknown force," she said, yanked her through the air and forced her to levitate. Additionally, Janet began speaking in the gravely voice of an older man, and it said, "Just before I died, I went blind, and then I had a hemorrhage, and I fell asleep, and I died in the chair in the corner downstairs," the voice said. But the voice said it through Janet on a recorded audio. Chillingly, a former occupant of the house named Bill Wilkins had died in that same exact way years earlier. By 1978, the so-called Enfield haunting had attracted the attention of American paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. As depicted in the Conjuring 2 film, the Warrens came to England to investigate. Though their involvement was not expansive as it was in the film, the Warrens did study the case and conclude that it was an authentic haunting. Now, you couldn't record the dangerous, threatening atmosphere inside the little house, Ed Warren later said, but you could film the levitations, teleportations, dematerializations of people and objects that were happening there. not to mention the many hundreds of hours of tape recordings made of these spirit voices speaking loud in the rooms. To some, the Enfield haunting was nothing more than just an elaborate prank. Skeptics claimed that Janet made up the voice of Bill Wilkins herself, and that her mother encouraged her for attention and fame. Perhaps the most damning, investigators once caught the children bending spoons. Janet admitted to doing that, but said that she and her siblings were just trying to see if anyone could tell the difference. And Janet insisted that they faked paranormal events just 2% of the time. The family's defenders also point out that Peggy Hodgins had nothing to gain from spreading the story. Checkbook journalism, as the Daily Mirror photographer Morris put it, simply didn't exist at the time. In any case, the hauntings trickled to a mysterious end in 1979. Though the family says they sometimes experience slightly strange things after the haunting, like odd noises. Nothing extreme happened in later years. That said, their chilling experience has stuck with them to this day. It stays with you, every step of the way, Margaret said. It's just like death, really. It gets a little bit easier as time goes on, but the fears and the memories of it is what happened. It never leaves you. And Janet, who experienced most of the haunting, dismisses the views of skeptics who say that she and her family made it up. They made up the whole Enfield poltergeist. She says, "I don't care what they think. I know what happened, and I know it was real." This was the true story behind The Conjuring 2.
Nightmare Files.